How's it going, everybody? Starwin here with another marathon submission. Today will be Silent Hill Homecoming 80% New Game Plus. So, just a little quick rundown of Homecoming. Homecoming is part of the Western Silent Hill series. Those games would consist of Downpour, Shattered Memories, Origins, and Homecoming. Now, Western Silent Hill games really don't get a lot of love, mainly because they weren't made by Team Silent, which was the original team that made the first 4 games, but also a lot of them weren't executed very well. And this game, casually, it's not the best thing in the world to play. It's pretty slow. The story's kind of slow. It just has its flaws, but it also has some redeeming qualities as well. But one thing that Homecoming has when it comes to speedrunning Silent Hill games is that most of us people in the Silent Hill speedrunning community agree that it is the best speed run in the series. Just a lot of cool tricks that we do, mainly wall clipping, which we'll see throughout the run. Allows us to skip large portions of the game and beat the game relatively fast. 80% New Game Plus is currently the fastest category, with a record of about 28 minutes. So I'll just go ahead and jump right in. We'll just pick good old classic Alex. First things first, though, we have an unskippable cutscene. If this game gets really loud, I'm sorry. This game is so ridiculously loud sometimes. It's also ridiculously dark. You will turn the brightness up all the way on this game, and you still won't be able to see anything.
Hey, talk to me.
So here's our protag, if you want to call him that, of the game. This is Alex Shepard. He is a member of the Shepard family. The Shepard family is one of the founding fathers of the town of Shepherd's Glen. That should have been obvious already by the name, but no context, I guess. And Alex is currently having a bad time as he's being wheeled on this gurney by a mysterious man, seeing all these kids die. It's not good. If you've ever seen Jacob's Ladder, or if you've never seen Jacob's Ladder, you're going to see a lot of references from that movie. And that movie, that movie and this game are like this. It's pretty interesting.
Hey, wait. Where are you going?
So, as in the tradition of Silent Hill games, there's always like a nightmare section that we do first, and we are actually in Alchemilla, which is one of the more iconic spots in the Silent Hill series. There's Nick and his beautiful face. A lot of people say he looks like Nick Lachey, the singer from 98 Degrees, which I totally agree. Definitely go look up a side-by-side comparison. I guarantee someone's already done it for you. Oh, I am mashing without... I'm mashing without the splits. I don't even got the splits open. I am unprepared. I got home and I was like, dude, let's speedrun a game today. Just open up any old thing. I just need my counter. Hello, Metal Gear. We'll be doing you eventually. Just close those. There we go. That'll work. Oh yeah, and then beep bop boop. Boop. Beep. Alright, cool. Alright, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, and whoosh. Okay. So, fun fact, you're going to see a lot of QTEs throughout this game. Mashing, though, is kind of finicky. If you mash too fast, it'll drop input. If you mash too slow, you probably won't do the QTE. You just have to find a right rhythm. It's really silly, and runs have died to it before to a lot of people. The great thing about this game is all the codes are the same. There's no RNG in their puzzles. I know that's a big factor in the like Silent Hill 2. That's a huge factor. There's a RNG in that game. This one's pretty straightforward.
Josh, stop!
Josh, this is our brother Josh. He's just gonna keep running away from us. The whole premise of the game is Alex is trying to find his brother Josh. He constantly sees him everywhere, but he just always runs away from him like a jerk. But at least we have a knife now. We can protect ourselves. And as you can kind of tell if you've also seen the Silent Hill movie, they take a lot of inspiration from that, with the nurse enemy design and the peeling texture that goes into the nightmare world of Silent Hill. When I say the nurse, the movie nurses are always incredibly over-sexualized. If you look at the Silent Hill 1 nurses, no, they don't look like that. But the nurse and like Pyramid Head are two very iconic images of the series, so they just kind of roll with it. Right, that was supposed to be the tutorial, melee tutorial segment. The melee in this game gets a lot of bad rap, saying, "Oh, it's too easy, and it's not, you know, it doesn't feel like you're having to try," which is true. But a lot of people, I feel like, base their opinions off the original series because. No, this game does not control like a traditional Silent Hill. It's not like tank controls, doesn't have clunky movement. The movement in this game is pretty smooth. And the melee is the same way. It's very, very easy to fight melee in this game. Other games, it's a little bit more difficult. Unless you're Travis Grady, who throws giant TVs and one hit kills everything. Alright, this is the second enemy introduction. These are the Swarm. These buggos like to attach to Alex and drain health, and they're really annoying. So hopefully we don't have any attached to us. If they do... Ooh, it sounds like we're going to have 2. Ooh, we're going to have 3. This is the ultimate bad luck. So the more bugs that are attached to you, the more health you lose. So, yeah, I just took a lot of damage. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to mash B, and then it'll give you a QTE to have Alex pull the Swarm off, and then you'll kill it. But it's just a lot quicker to run and find like a cutscene or like some kind of cinematic. Like right there, we jumped off a ledge, and when we hit the bottom, all the bugs exploded. That's kind of what you want to do. And we're just gonna walk past this nurse. I'm actually kind of happy I grabbed that first aid kick, so we might need it. Getting 3 bugs is kind of rare, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't happen too often.
Joshua, is that you?
And here comes what Double Helix thought was a interesting addition to the series, and that is dialogue options.
Someone brought me here.
You usually have 1 to 3 options. One of them is a good,
They lied.
like good dialogue where you're being nice. The other one is bad and full of malice, and Alex just being a jerk. None of these choices really matter to like the story of the game. There's only a handful of choices that will decide what ending you actually get. But right here, we're just picking the ones that have the shorter dialogue conversations. There's good old Robbie. Everybody knows who Robbie is, right? Silent Hill 3, Big Rabbit. And if you come up to me and be like, "Oh, Starwood, I know who Robbie is. He's from Silent Hill Revelations. I'm going to kick you and tell you to never talk to me again." If anybody has never played the original Silent Hill games, but they've seen Silent Hill Revelations, there's something wrong with you. Okay, so we're gonna have another Swarm attached to us, which, whatever. As you're gonna see, I'm gonna get to a certain health percentage. I'm actually gonna start limping. This is why I'm glad I got the first aid kit. Once Alex gets below 10% health, he'll actually start to move way slower. We do not want that. Alright, and here we go. So Alex, this is funny with the elevator, and it's just a very subtle thing that I've noticed. To trigger the cutscene, he pushes the button, and he hits up. But for some reason, when he walks in here, he's like, "Oh, let's go to the bottom. Why would you hit the up button?" And then it starts going down. So whatever. It's just something I noticed, and I always thought it was really silly. Spooky. Sadly, this is one of the few unskippable cutscenes this game does have. But after this, I think there's only like 1 more that we have to watch. Super close up. Oh, I wonder what's in that crack. Big swood. So, Alex was sleeping. He's in the truck cabin of former Silent Hill Origins protagonist, Travis Grady. A man very, very much in love with his truck. I mean, go play Silent Hill Origins. He talks about family and stuff. This man really just wants to get back to his truck. And we actually are not starting in Silent Hill. We start in Shepherd's Glen. Shepherd's Glen is a little town that is right across Toluca Lake from Silent Hill. Kind of the context, the story context of this game is this town had to sacrifice like a child from each. I think it's each main family, which there's 4 main families, had to sacrifice a child so the old gods of Silent Hill wouldn't, you know, come to Shepherd's Glen and make it like this. But for some reason, the town has been corrupted by the evil of the town, which it's silly. Like, the continuity is not there, I promise. Alright, so since this is any % New Game Plus, I am going to be using New Game Plus weapons, and the main one I'm going to be using is the laser pistol. Now, I explained during my intro that we do wall clips in order to skip large segments of the game. So this door right here, it's going to lock, we can't get through it, we need a key. We wouldn't get that key until we're like 60% done with the game. So, we're going to clip the door, and to clip we need a pistol. So when Alex aims, he walks forward, as you can see here. Do that against a wall and strafe back and forth. Eventually, you'll get a pull, and Alex will start getting sucked into said wall. Just like this. Oh, we don't want to go right there. We don't want to go into the... This clip is, can be kind of annoying. You mainly want to clip the door. You do not want to get stuck into the white area of the wall. So start through the door frame. It just really wants me to go through there. How about that? That looks good. There we go. And bada boom, bada bing, we just skipped 60% of the game. No kidding. We skipped 2 or 3 dungeons. We skipped 2 main boss fights. And what's really crazy about this game is that it still works. It doesn't soft lock. What's even better, and I'll show you after I open this door, the game likes to run... Actually, I'll show you when we get to the next dungeon. I'll explain it right here. After we do this really good puzzle, because you know slide puzzles are good puzzles. So, the game, when you go through a load screen, like that door we just went through, it showed like a loading symbol in the bottom right. Well, when that happens, the game is running a check. It checks all of your values of your inventory. And your inventory, if you have something, just has the number 1, has value 1. So the game is going through there during the load screen. It's like, well, why does he's at this part, he went through this door, why doesn't he have, like, the ceremonial dagger, not the ceremonial dagger, because that's the one thing it doesn't give you, why doesn't he have, like, the shotgun, or the pipe, or the axe? Well, the game just go ahead and look, it just gives it to you. It gives you absolutely everything except for the ceremonial dagger. Which, you need the ceremonial dagger later on in the church, but we do a bunch of clips to bypass it. This category used to be a lot harder because of that. But, so, because of that, us being able to clip, we skipped 60% of the game, and now we're in the Nightmare Shepherd House, which, crazy enough, is the last dungeon in Shepherd's Glen. So, the second we're out of here, we're going to see a bunch of characters that you don't even know. You don't have any context at this moment of what the story is doing. And we're going to actually head to Silent Hill for the last part of the game. Here's the enemy that we would have already seen in the run if you were playing casually. Those are schisms. They can be kind of scary. They have a one-hit kill attack where they open up their head and they just kind of crush Alex. We don't want that. So, I know what a lot of people are probably thinking. Oh man, He has a gun that does 1,000,000 damage, it has infinite ammo. How boring. Wah. Let me tell you this. This game is not about how you can beat a boss with just melee weapons, or, you know, you just use, like, your regular ammo, your standard issue stuff in a casual playthrough. Because all of it's still easy. Because things can be stun-locked in this game. It's not difficult to fight anything in this game. The main draw of this game as a speedrun is the clipping, because for one, clipping may look really, really easy. A lot of people will watch me do a lot of this and be like, oh, that doesn't seem too bad. And guess what? I thought the same thing when I first learned this game. It is 100% feel. I cannot tell you how to do this. I give you a general idea of like, okay, go into a wall, aim and strafe, and just go back and forth until you get a pull. That's all I can tell you. You actually, this is 100% feel on how to do it. But man, when you get it and you get it consistently, this is one hell of a fun speedrun. Alright, so, I guess I'll give like a quick rundown of the Shepherd House. So the Shepherd House, there's if you've been noticing, I've been pulling this lever to open up new areas, to get, to solve a puzzle, to light a symbol on that door. We need to do all 4 of those puzzles to actually leave this area. This dungeon really isn't that big. This is supposed to be like the puzzle gauntlet, but the puzzles in here are really, really stupid. Like, most of it is match the shapes. Grab this knife, and now we can go to the last area. Definitely Homecoming, not known for its story or melee combat, or even its puzzle difficulty, because it's not that great. It's okay. It's okay. But one thing this game really does have, and I think a lot of people will agree with me, is that the enemy design is fantastic, and the soundtrack is amazing. This game has such a good soundtrack. Alright, so this last area, we open up the bottom part. We pulled the lever so we can open the exit. It's just quicker to clip right there, because it puts us right in front of the area where we need to be, which is putting these knives on the wall and into this schism head. Like I said, matching shapes, it's not that complicated. Worst thing about it is the menuing. It eats your inputs like nobody's business. Alright, and that's it. We are done with the Shepherd House, and now we're going to move on to Silent Hill. Also, another reason why we do that clip, not only is it quicker, there's actually an enemy that will spawn right now, and that completely bypasses having to deal with that enemy. But it really wouldn't matter anyway, because we do have the laser pistol. The laser pistol is just completely broken. Oh, goodness. Last unskippable cutscene.
This has to be right.
Be able to skip everything. Don't know why they chose to have like just a handful of cutscenes you couldn't skip when the majority of everything is skippable. I guess they were really proud of this transition, because I think this is the only time in the game where you actually see Alex coming out of the nightmare world and back into the real world. Dramatic effect. So, I'm going to give you guys a little rundown of what's about to happen. So, there's this guy named Wheeler. Wheeler is the sheriff of Shepherd's Glen. We run into him, like, if you were playing this game casually, you would run him after the first boss. You become friends with him, and then you meet your childhood friend, Elle. Well, the cutscenes we just skipped, we all just got in a boat together, and now we're in Silent Hill. But, somehow, the Order, the cult group in Silent Hill, managed to pull a boat up right next to Wheeler and kind of splinter cell, and they stole Elle, they captured her, and they captured Wheeler, and I was the only one that made it. So now our whole goal is to rescue them. Which...
Alex, are you there?
There's Wheeler on the radio, but I want you to think about this real quick, because this is a huge plot hole, and I hate it. Wheeler gets captured by the Order. They take his gun away, and they put him in a cell. Okay, why didn't they take away his radio? Because now I'm talking to Wheeler while he's in a cell. Like, it makes no sense. There are 2 guards currently watching this man.
Wheeler, are you there?
Makes no sense.
Wheeler, come in.
I don't get it. Never will. So this next area is going to be the prison. If we were doing this casually, we'd have to go turn off an electric fence, fight a bunch of Order members, and it's really, really slow and really, really boring. So we're going to clip, because clipping is how we play this game. And we're going to bypass all of that by clipping through this wall right here. And just like that, we're in the wall. We do get stuck, but we do something called a shotgun turn. We'll switch the shotgun and turn into the wall, and that'll push us out. For some reason, when Alex is aiming the shotgun, it drastically changes his hitbox. So when that happens, it actually will allow you to get pushed out of walls.
Alex, where are you?
Alex also doesn't have a radio because we never picked it up, so every time you see him use the radio, he's just gonna give himself a little exam real quick. Alright, so now we're in the penitentiary. We're gonna go free Wheeler. He's got a few order soldiers guarding him. And then there's a couple of clips in this area, and then we're gonna fight a boss. Well, we went through the nightmare section of this, and then we'll fight a boss. But the nightmare section is really, really quick. Bunch of loud noises for no reason. And now we're gonna fight these Order soldiers. And they're gone. Yes, I did play Halo 2. I get headshots. Maybe just not the first try. I did say I was good at Halo. I said I played Halo. There we go.
Good job. Now get me out of here. There's a switch over there.
Alright, so we're going to get introduced to new enemies, the Siam, and it's dead. And then I'm going to do a little roll before that cutscene starts. So right here, if we can get in front of Wheeler, we'll save about 10 seconds, which we're not going to do. So Wheeler is really fast. He runs faster than Alex. And if we can get in front of him at any point, like right there, we wouldn't have to wait for him to jump across that ledge. Getting in front of him saves like 10 seconds, but 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get in front of him.
What happened in here?
Getting in front of him right here, though, is 100% possible.
Alex, hit that
As long
switch.
as your movement is on point. Which, my movement was on point.
Let's try to find a way out of here.
Okay, we're about to have a funny cutscene with Wheeler, and I say funny because I'm going to try to set up something hilarious.
Alex, it looks like I can control.
When you roll during the cutscene trigger, it'll reposition
Yes,
Alex in a
it
different
works.
spot.
Okay.
So now he's way to the right.
Now here's what you do. Head across the catwalk to the locked bars on the far side.
Who are
Now
you
get
staring
out of
at,
here.
Wheeler? I am over there.
Hang tight, Alex. Let me unlock it for you.
Please unlock gate. What's funny is we can actually clip through this gate. We could have clipped through it earlier, but sadly, when we open up this door, this area doesn't load, and we really need it to load. But if we could figure out how to get past that, that'd be a huge time save, because we wouldn't have to get Wheeler. Alright, so we're about to clip through a couple of walls. This bypasses a puzzle using wires, and it's really annoying. So here we go. That's wall number 1. Here's wall number 2. You can kind of tell how it looks like. It's wanting to push me out. And it looked like it wanted to drop me into oblivion, so I was not going to let that happen. But there we go. Now we're in this little room, which would take a little bit to get to if we were doing this the traditional way. And we're now going to clip this fence. We need to get inside this little tunnel, but being on top of the tunnel is just as good as being inside it. That is if the game will actually give me a clip. There is a chance I can trigger a cutscene right here, there is a cutscene trigger below me, and if it does trigger, it's not a big deal. It happens all the time. That time we didn't get it. That's good.
All right, Wheeler, I made it in. I'm gonna look around.
So the game thinks we're inside this tunnel. I always do this in any kind of run I do. There's a gun right here. If you can figure out how to get that gun, I will give you $100. That is a challenge that I have had issued for the last 2 or 3 years, and no one has been able to do it. Mainly because the ground around the gun doesn't exist. If you get anywhere near there, you just fall through the earth and die. So, we just had to make a choice. You didn't really get to see it. It's kind of funny. There's supposed to be a brutal image of Alex's mom in a torture rack. And she's, like, begging for Alex to shoot her out of mercy. And that choice actually affects what ending you get. Shooting her is the good thing to do. Not shooting her is the bad thing to do because she ends up suffering. What's really funny, though, here in that cutscene, since we do the clip and you can't see her, you can choose the bad option, and you can watch nothing get torn in half, and you'll just see blood, like, run out of nothing. It's a pretty funny image to look at. Okay.
Where the hell are we?
I don't know, Wheeler, but we have to keep moving.
Yeah, so this is the Nightmare Penitentiary. It looks absolutely nothing like the penitentiary that we were just in. Basically, we're going to fight a couple of enemies right here. They're called Needlers, and then we're going to fight, technically would be the third boss, but this is the first boss that we fight in New Game Plus, or any percent New Game Plus. These are Needlers, also known as Edward Scissorlegs. And we'll take care of them. Wheeler got our back. He got some ammo in that gun. And now we're gonna fight Asphyxia. Like I said, this boss fights, and anything you do with a laser pistol is incredibly easy. Just appreciate how this boss looks, and also tell me what the first thing that comes to your mind when you see this boss. Oh, she did the command grab. Kick nice. Alright, she's one shot away, and there we go. So, that was Asphyxia. If you were thinking of the human centipede, then yes, that's what I was hoping you were thinking. Fun fact, this game predates the human centipede. So, did the creators of Homecoming know about the human centipede during its creation, and they released a monster that kind of looked like it? Or had the,
Josh, wait.
inspiration? Or did Homecoming just do it first? You never know. But yeah, it's a fun little fact that I always love to share because it's pretty cool. Like really? All right. It's all right. So we have 2 more areas in the game, and then we are done with the run already. We're only almost 25 minutes in. We're already almost done. So we have how many clips in my brain? 7 clips left. These last 7 clips, though, are notoriously the hardest. So I had said earlier in the run that we don't have the ceremonial dagger. It's the one item that they don't give us. Which, if you were to do all these clips and get to this point, and you didn't know how to do the church clips, you technically couldn't beat the game, and it would soft lock because you do need the ceremonial dagger to trigger the puzzle areas in this level. So, yeah. So that's why we do these clips here. This bypasses the gate.
L?
Up here, we're going to bypass a second gate that we would have to cut through the paintings right there, but we're not able to. Clip right here. This clip can be a little tricky. It likes to get you stuck sometimes. Which today it was being very nice, thank you. And there's Church 3. This is the one that skips the rest of the level. And this is very RNG dependent. I'm going to start a clip. I'm going to get on top of this desk. I need to get pushed into the middle right there, and I cannot believe we got that first try. I did my All Bosses New Game Plus submission earlier. And we got Church 3 first try on that one. Those were really, really good clips. I'm not kidding. Those were amazing. That was a super optimal Church 3. Like, maybe the first clip was a little slow, but if then, it's like maybe 10 seconds off. It's not that bad. So the church is actually a pretty long, it's a very small area, but it's actually pretty long. There's a handful of puzzles that you need to do. There's a long dialogue segment with that you're forced to do with Alex's dad, and that's actually the second thing, the second decision that you would be making that would affect the ending. But since we skipped it, the game automatically assumes that we do not forgive our dad. So far I've picked we don't forgive our dad and we don't kill our mom. So the bad choices. And as you can see, Judge Holloway is not a very good dentist. Is nowhere near the mouth region. So I guess we need to show her. So Alex, it's right here. Yeah, Yeah, she's trying to, but she's going through your eye. You need to go right here. Like, right here. No, Alex.
Bitch! It's finished.
Alex, you're never gonna pass your dental exams. If you do that, that's not good. Yes, this game gets very hostile at the end, so I apologize if that was a little brutal for some. Alright, so we don't have any of our weapons, so that's kind of sad. So, at least the game's nice enough to give us a pistol, which, you know what we can do with pistols, we can flip. First things first, though, we need to get rid of all these guards chasing us. And here comes two more. We're gonna give him the knife combo. As I missed a bullet. We have one more guy we need to fight. And he's also going to get a bullet knife combo. Then we have 3 clips. And then we have one more clip and then the final boss. So this whole area, right here, we would actually have to go save our childhood friend Elle and fight this dude named Curtis. And, that takes forever. And it's all to get a key to get into this room so we can get our stuff back. And I'm not going to go fight Curtis. I'm going to do a thing called a pillar climb. Which is, it's a type of clip where when you clip into a pillar, instead of being pushed through the wall, you get clipped into the ceiling. And since a lot of these walls have things in front of them, it makes it really hard to clip through. So we do a pillar climb. Which we almost got first try, and now it's being a little stubborn. Just need to get the clip started. There we go. So now we're in the ceiling, and we're just gonna... We actually can't move forward, so we're just gonna gun walk forward, because, you know, Alex moves forward when he aims. So as long as we just keep hitting aim back, like consecutively, we'll move forward. Alright, we got our items back. Got the trusty laser pistol. And, more importantly, we have the shotgun, which we are going to need for this next clip. This next area that I'm about to go to, you're supposed to have Elle with you, and since we don't have Elle, a lot of things don't load, which is can be a little scary. If we were doing 80% new game, you would actually get to see what I was talking about. But you know what? I'll go ahead and show you. We've got the time. Like this room in here. I open it up and there's nothing. Ooh, spooky. Wheeler's actually in here dying, and we need to get in there and save him we need to save him. I guess save him if you want to. It's another choice that you can make. But we also need to go in there because that's the exit to this area. Traditionally, you would actually bust open a window to get to him, but since that window doesn't spawn, we have to clip into the cutscene, which is through this wall right here. It's being a little stubborn. There we go. Just like that. Cutscene's gonna play. I'm not gonna give him the mid. And there's an invisible door we need to open. There it is. And this area is not going to load, but at least the final bits of the game are going to load. And now we're at the last puzzle / last clip. So, last puzzle in the game. Takes about 1.5 minutes to do. This one right here. It's really slow. So, we have figured out a clip. This is the hardest clip in the game, by the way. We have to start the clip into the wall right here, which, as you can see, we don't have a lot of room to work with. So once we get a clip started, which Can take a second. A lot of bad things can happen here. I can get clipped through the floor. I can go into a death plane and die. I can get pillar climb, or I can get in the floor, like I said. So right here, what we have to do right here now, what happened is the clip actually pushed me out. And it pushed me into the floor. And the only way through the floor is going through the floor, which is always a death. So, this is why this clip is very, very tricky. Got 3 minutes to go. I'm going to go for the clip. Worst case scenario, in a marathon setting, you can just do the puzzle if you just had a bad run. So it's not really a big deal. But if you do get a good clip, that's pretty much what it's going to look like. But once you get into the door, it's still RNG if it's going to work or not. For the sake of everything, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the clip, just for funsies, to show it off. Alright, we need this thing to stop shaking. That'd be really nice. Nope, okay, let's try this again. The good thing is the boss fight takes like 30 seconds, if that. Okay, this might be good. Nope, it's just gonna spit me out. You are not a good boy today. You know that? Even in my All Bosses New Game Plus submission, this clip gave me a little bit of trouble. And it usually doesn't. It's not the worst clip in the world. It really isn't. It just takes practice, which we got it, so it's not a big deal. It's a slow pull. The good thing is this will be underestimate. Just gotta wait for the second push. There we go. And that bypasses the puzzle. If you get that first try, it saves about 1 minute 20 seconds, which is really nice. And like I said originally, this boss fight does not take long. So here's Amnion. It's a big pregnant spider thing. And that's the first phase. Second thing. And... oh, she's gonna be hurt. She said invincibility thing. Okay. And... that's tough. So 3404 did make it underneath the estimate. Like I had said before, if a run is going bad in a marathon setting, you can just do the puzzle. It does, like I said, it takes 1 minute and 30 seconds. Traditionally, that's really not gonna. It's rarely gonna happen. It rarely happens to me. That's for sure. The last clip is definitely the biggest factor. Everything else leading up to that is not that bad. So worst comes to worst. Clip's not going well. The last clip's not going well. You can just do the puzzle. It's not a big deal.
Never meant for this to happen.
But with no context, there you go. That's Silent Hill Homecoming. Alex found Josh inside a pregnant spider lady.
Take this.
That's all you get from me.
God.
And since we did go ahead and choose... I went ahead and chose all the bad choices, so we didn't kill our mom, so she ended up suffering. We didn't forgive our dad, and we didn't save Wheeler. So everyone pretty much died. So we get the worst ending in the game, which is also the best ending in the game. You will see why very soon. I'll go ahead and just give a quick thank you to anybody watching this marathon submission. I hope you do consider putting this in your marathon. Silent Hill Homecoming is a very underrated speed game. It's a lot of fun. It's very, very, very interesting to watch. I've always had people get captivated with how clipping works, and because of that, and everyone other runners that have run this game. We have brought in so many more people to run this game, so it's really awesome to see this game be a very small niche community, and now it's really big. Like 14, 15 people for us is big. So yeah, this is the ending. 2 pyramid heads, for some reason there's 2, are about to make Alex into a pyramid head.
Get away from me!
The good thing is he's going to put on this helmet and he's going to grow about 8 feet and become super swole. Look at this man. Like, for some reason in Homecoming, they made Pyramid Head jacked beyond all belief. Go look at what Pyramid Head looks like in 2. He's like a scrawny dude. But in Homecoming, no, he's jacked. The best part, though, is we unlock the best costume in the game, and that is the Bogeyman costume, where it's just Alex in his traditional outfit, and he has a Pyramid Head helmet on. So that's another thing for donation incentives is costumes. There's like 6 or 7 costumes you can choose from, and they make a great donation incentive. But, all right. Again, thank you for watching this. I hope you consider Homecoming for your marathon. I've been Starwin, and I'll see you guys in the next submission. Y'all take care.